Captain America safely secured for ban draft. Double dive Vanguards, the VIRTUSPRO default composition that we have seen before.
And no Wolverine, despite the Cyclops being on play in both sides. It is just the Gambit, Cyclops, and the Venom that is going to be sort of matching up as best that they can. This is always a series that tends to give it, but this is also a series where Navi can absolutely decimate VIRTUSPRO if they start on the right foot. Yeah, Rajaro sort of switching around into these various characters, letting Trust Me, that sort of main Vanguard, be the lead in line and when this dive is going to come in. And so far, it's a bit of a scattered start, sort of trying to work out where these Vanguards are, who's going to be making the first move, and Saipe having to try to go out of step a little bit because he was taken out in a bit of a scary area. VIRTUSPRO looking a little bit low on HP when it comes to trying to scrap on this objective, but so far Navi are the ones that have made the biggest progression. Not only with just trying to take a third of the point, but also finding that first pick on to
no longer
it's good work from
in the
Nevix
playoffs.
Keep in and out
Also,
in this fight. He hasn't quite been
Jay3
going
respect
down.
for 2 months. Appreciate. And also,
what's more surprising is Rajaro
Mike
still hasn't
with a
quite built up
massive
the
dono
ban
on
hammer yet as the
YouTube, my friend.
Deadpool Vanguard.
Appreciate
Like the one advantage
I hope
that
you're having
could
a
go their way.
great
But
day,
now
my
they're taking a
friend.
point, not going to matter too much.
I mean, VP with that positioning, we're
And
making
Pix
very
Long,
much
appreciate the massive
aware
dono as well,
of
my
the
friend.
Vanguard
I am not
Deadpool
fully
and played in
recharged.
Nevix and Finzi so that he wasn't just able to farm the ultimate off of those 2 Vanguards. It is available
I hate
and
this
ready to
Jay3
go
ASMR.
before VIRTUSPRO have strategist ults
This
to
is
be
not
able
even
to try to
ASMR.
fend it off. So a slower approach from VIRTUSPRO, building Dridro's
Would I
Fate of
rather
both
have
worlds
you
up to
hate this
secure that
ASMR
one when the push tries to come through.
or have
Rajaro
Emily
with the
get
ban
mad
hammer
at me
pushes
because she's still
VIRTUSPRO
sleeping
back.
and it's 7
No
a.m.
eliminations right now, but you're still
I think I'm
securing
gonna
a
pick
whole
Emily.
lot of
I don't
point
want her to
percent
get
with
mad at
VP
me.
just having to wait and play engagement off of Saipe's ult before Crooker's match.
I think the Vera back has also got cobwebs on it at this point for Navi. It's not going to be used now. You sort of say that. It's like buses in London. One comes and 3, wait for 1 and 3 suddenly come up. So level 1 Crook's going to be brought
Also,
back
this
into
is
the fight. A couple of
crazy,
players have been
bro.
eliminated. I'd imagine VIRTUSPRO going to switch over the point in this engagement, and Navi, despite building up those ultimates, not going to get a fair fight.
This
We'll have
is
to see how
crazy.
VIRTUSPRO
We're
can
watching 2
handle
of the
this
best
one-sided Gambit
EMEA
ult
teams
fight
go
that
at it
Navi
against each
have to
other.
be able to push forward. Dridro does have Fate of both worlds, but if you have to use it to live the Gambit ult, you don't have it available to absorb the pressure of Feast of the Abyss and Dance of the Butterflies, so Navi do have a clear
what's up, Money?
advantage if they force
Appreciate it.
Dridro into
Yeah.
burning the ult.
Yeah, and Amplifier too.
I think we chat. I think I did the math yesterday. Out of 2 days, out of 48 hours, we streamed for 35 of those hours.
Gets caught through it. Just a bit too much to deal with, and now
Wait,
sort
no,
of seeing that whilst they have 3 more ultimates,
for 48 hours, we streamed for
It's going to allow
35.
Nevix to sustain a little bit more, and also find a pick up to Rajaro that's brought back by the BRB. So
want
Navi
to
still
sleep.
not quite turning things over into their favor.
But today's going to be a good day.
Dedicate a little bit more in this stalemate. Just feeling that the attrition is going to allow VIRTUSPRO to start dipping one at a time. Point flips back at 53%.
And Fate held on to Cosmic on Amplifier, so you now have it for
What
one-shot
team
potential
do you
when
pick,
paired
Jay?
alongside
Team Heretics or
Trust Me
Navi? That's an
Terror's
easy choice.
ultimates.
That's Navi.
You're holding the Cosmic on Amplifier too because Fi can try to just decimate it with the one-shot potential.
In the
of that
past,
Ruby
Navi beat
Rage.
VIRTUSPRO,
As
and
VIRTUSPRO actually going to
VIRTUSPRO beat
swap
Team
Venom,
Heretics,
Gone,
so
Nevix onto the
Navi would
Angela.
roll
More
them.
counter dive potential
Oh, that's huge.
as Navi go for a very fast hit, cutting right through Finzi's Freedom Charge.
He was setting that up, and the Freedom Charge, I don't think it was quite connected onto helping Dridro sustain that any more than he could, but Nevix over on the Angela has managed to find the pick, switching away from that Venom to begin with. So trades going on either side, specifically one onto the Rocket that hasn't had the chance to use the Amplifier, but might not actually need to at this rate because Terra and the rest of the team
VIRTUSPRO
win
is
out
a
the
really
neutral.
good team, but Navi, I think, is
just
like a super
holding
team, bro.
VIRTUSPRO having to swap Nevix now off of the Angela onto the Strange, but no good strategist ult to be able to stabilize, no Loki swap
Yo,
as well for the
Bacon, appreciate the massive
regeneration
prime sub, my
domain
friend.
to try to cheese the incoming damage that Navi have to launch at them. Ruby Rage from 5 finds no eliminations, does break the Cosmic Yawn Amplifier at least, but Navi are walking away with all of the eliminations and point possession. VIRTUSPRO just having to tread water and stall out the inevitable.
Everybody starting to dip, even with the portal. It's gone off for VIRTUSPRO, only flipping the point into their favor once. Terra 11-0. And up until the very end, Moxie, I'd say that was a low elimination game. It was very patient and conservative from both sides, and it was only towards the end that we actually saw stuff like the Iron Amplifier being used when another Banhammer had just come through from Rajaro.
VIRTUSPRO didn't fall off, chat,
NAVI, right?
but I do
having to be
feel
very careful
like they
about
could
how
be
they
doing a
take those
lot
fights,
better
because if they go for a pick early onto Navi's players, if there is a trade, if they lose one of their own
they were
teammates,
actually doing a
the
LAN.
Rocket BRB is still active.
Because Navi are
just
all together.
jump
They're
right
doing a
back
LAN
up,
party.
6 versus
VIRTUSPRO
5,
is not.
and VIRTUSPRO would start losing control of the tempo of that fight overall.
What's up,
so you
Crash?
can see having that one-sided Rocket is really
Vi is
benefiting
1-4
Navi in terms of
with
just
0
tempering
finals.
VIRTUSPRO's aggression. VP, when they play dive, they're a very momentum-based team. They like getting in your face, they like getting aggressive, they like taking your timing away from you, but they're being cowed because of that Rocket BRB being in play.
Napkin math, it seems that VIRTUSPRO did about 5k damage less than NAVI. I think that's what has felt like that. NAVI were very good at just making sure that no damage could be done on the other side, and VIRTUSPRO playing a little bit more safe. Like you mentioned, they don't want this banhammer to build up, which Rashara is going to...
Finzy was in my chat last night, chat, and I told him good luck, and he says, we don't need it, it's going to be easy.
Saipe gets there first, and he's going to use it first, seeing if he can sort of rush down. But seeing it from Trustme's perspective, all of Navi seem to have scuppered. Everybody's managed to disengage apart from Rashara. That does get picked up from Dredro, but the BR back means that it is still going to be a 6v6 once this part the map comes online. That's the bot flank. It's going to be used for the counterattack. Jerky finds 2 as Dredro and Fire wants to drop, and even cut through Nevix. It seemed that Navi completely
Jerky wasn't playing that well yesterday. He's showing up today, though.
Counterattack with their own.
I think that's the lowest health Psylocke ult successful that I've seen. Jerky was 9 health when he went for that Dance of the Butterflies. Dredro already burned the freeze, so was not able to CC cancel the Psylocke ult, dips into the invulnerability, and survives, and allows the rest of his team to regroup and commit their own damage on top of it. Terror with a very early Ruby Rage, but that does not give the opportunity for Jerky to be able to slip quietly away. Does zone VIRTUSPRO off though, so BRB successful.
They kill him, right? They don't kill Terra there?
Now alongside Sparker should mean that VIRTUSPRO just have to give up this fight. They're down both duelists. They don't have enough damage to be able to break through Navi's players.
The one-sided Rocket, you could even say like one-sided BR back, is just making so much value happen for Navi, because these picks are still coming through from VIRTUSPRO. Like nice little like grabs, I suppose, in the neutral, catching people out of position, like Jerky. Instantly nullified because of these BR backs, and Fate is on one of
Terra
his,
is
like,
17-0.
most comfortable characters too. So VIRTUSPRO, even now, if they get a nice elimination, it's going to be counted out, and there's still a lot more sustain to go with, as the Yan Amplifier is about to be available for Navi.
Well, VP should win this fight. On paper, if we are playing with napkin maths, they have way more ultimates. It's just a case of how
who
much
Terra
they have
reminds
to
me of,
sacrifice
chat?
to contain it.
Every time he
Finzy
plays and pops
goes
off.
Down early, though, was trying
He
to go for
reminds
that
me of
backup
like
pressure to allow
what
the
you
rest of
guys
VIRTUSPRO's
watch
players
every
start
day when you
making
come to
their
my
way
stream.
up onto the high ground without the attention
Just cinema,
of
right?
Navi's poke, which means
This is what it looks like to watch me every day. Play ranked. That's crazy.
Denied the opportunity of using any of them. So Crook is now approaching the Gambit ult match alongside Saipe. A late pick off onto Sparker. That will spiral into next fight. VIRTUSPRO have to wait for the Psylocke ultimate to be ready, but now they're going to have to walk 5v6 with Freedom Charge to make up the absence.
Yeah, not walking, more like a hot step with the Freedom Charge to try to let people get through. But with the Amplifier, a great position put in from Fate, which means that it's either like,
did you just wake up, Jay?
Yes. To try to deal with it. Bro. Means all of these eliminations coming in.
I am
not
so tired,
very much
dude.
Against the with the Fate
I couldn't sleep last night.
Fate in control of
I went to bed
one.
like 2, 3, and woke up at 6. Bro, I am exhausted.
It seems to be indisputable. And Navi finding
damn,
revenge
yeah, Navi kind of rolled VIRTUSPRO.
VIRTUSPRO certainly on that second point floundered, looked lost.
The one-sided
VIRTUSPRO got rolled by Navi, but I will say, King of the Hill or Domination is like Marvel Rivals would like to call it. That is like team deathmatch, chat. I think the other game modes, Convoy and Convergence, or the Payload and the Hybrid, those take a little bit more strategy and actually more teamwork. Like this is just Domination.
You see how it's going to go, what adjustments
team
team
deathmatch
after this break.
But it looks like Navi looks like the best team in EMEA, and it does not even look close, bro. Drink some coffee? I'll do it later, chat. Yeah, I don't think Domination's as objective based. Also, Ben, appreciate the massive Prime sub, my friend. Absolutely insane. In VP we trust. Would it be very toxic? Wait, what did Finzi say yesterday? Finzi came to my stream yesterday. Finzi came to my stream yesterday and I said, hey, good luck tomorrow. And then he said, nah, it's easy peasy against NAVI. Hey Jay, did 100 Thieves win last night? 100 Thieves played against Swamp Gaming. Did they win yesterday? No. But they did take a map off of them. I think 100 Thieves played really well yesterday, even though they lost. Who did J3 have in the TSM game yesterday? Not TSM. I voted for STD. Show your predictions. So we only know the top 3 games of each region. We have Navi against VIRTUSPRO. I think Navi's going to win that. Obviously. I don't think Navi's going to lose. Team Heretics against Shikigami. I think that's going to be a really good game, but I think Team Heretics is winning. Rad against Pulsar. I think that's going to be another good game, but I think Rad's winning. And then the TBH game, or TBD, is going to be, in my opinion, Team Heretics against Rad. Team Heretics wins. NA is going to be a banger of the day. Actually, both regions are going to be a banger. Team Liquid Citadel against Swamp Gaming, chat. I think Team Liquid Citadel is going to win. 100 Thieves against FlyQuest. I think FlyQuest is going to win. YWL against STD. I think STD is looking really strong right now. So I think STD. And then the TBH or TBD game is going to be FlyQuest against STD. Swamp Gaming beats Team Liquid Citadel today. Watch it. Yeah, and I'm 7'4". What's more believable, chat? Come on. If Swamp Gaming runs out on the blade, I don't think they're winning. I do think Swamp Gaming is a really good team, though. But I think they're going to be good games, but I don't think Team Liquid Citadel is going to lose. Swamp Gaming beat Team Liquid Citadel before, so it can happen again. When did Swamp Gaming beat Team Liquid Citadel? I don't think... Preseason? I'm pretty sure Team Liquid Citadel beat them in the preseason, no? Chat, Team Liquid Citadel beat them. Swamp Gaming didn't beat Team Liquid Citadel, chat. I don't know.
I outnumber you. Your powers are mine.
Oh, here. Oh, I remember. Swamp Gaming beat Team Liquid Citadel in a best of 5. But then when it was a best of 7, Team Liquid Citadel ended up beating Swamp Gaming. Fuck, that's going to be such a good game. That is going to be such a good game. Wait, okay, so let's go see, for an example. No. EMEA preseason.
I did so well yesterday. Take a break, Marauders. It is time for a relaxing
Oh my god,
day
wait, this
at
was the
beach,
preseason.
and you could do so
Navi
by rolling in
beat
with several of
VIRTUSPRO.
our
VIRTUSPRO
teams.
lost
The
to
Seaside
Rad.
Siren for
Team
Loki, the
Heretics
Coastal
was in the
Kumiho for White
playoffs,
Fox,
and Team
of
Heretics
course,
got rolled by
the
Navi.
Seaside Sentinel for Captain America. All these skins are available in-game right now, and it seems I need a day at the beach as well.
Chat, buy the
Into
Captain
our
America
live
Seaside
box.
Sentinel.
People
Trust
who
me.
have not forgotten to unmute
Trust me.
are the
You will be
teams,
very
because
happy with that
Navi
skin.
in particular, it looks
You will
like
be
their
doing
comms
double the
are
damage,
working
and you
beautifully,
wouldn't
as
know
what
why.
Heretics struggled with yesterday, the Captain America of VIRTUSPRO Moxie, it didn't seem as much of an issue for Navi at all.
Yeah, well, I don't think much was an issue when Navi were able to totally shut down VP's teamfight ability by going for early picks, greeting forward positions, and understanding if they did lose players early, Fate's BRB would just bring one of them right back, as opposed to
Captain
VP, where if you
Camoto?
lose
Oh
one
my-
of your
trust me,
duelists,
that
you're
is not a
starting to
Camoto,
back
bro.
away, you're wanting to wait for a regroup.
That's not a
Navi
Camoto.
chase for more,
That's a
get
club.
a second elimination, and spiral that
That's a
one
weapon.
pick into totally denying an opportunity to take a fight. Like, to put it in perspective, VP had Gambit ult. We got to see one Gambit ult at the very start of the round, and we got to see one Gambit ult attempted at the very end of the round. 2 Gambit ults for a whole round of domination is insane.
It's one of the faster building ultimates, just because
Wait,
Gambit does
did they
a lot
show
of
the
damage
stats for the game, by the way,
alongside his
chat?
healing output, so it can make quite a big difference here. But we talked about it in the break a little bit about where we wanted the MVP to go. And while we did go with Fate, I believe the exact wording that you two used was Fate's BRB, if you would like to elaborate on that, Moxie or Ryan.
I mean, it's in some cases like Terra didn't eat it because he was 22-0, but I think it's like every time that VIRTUSPRO managed to get something working in the neutral, or even like off the back of a good like ultimate, Abirabat meant that it was an easy counterattack, right, Moxie? It was just like Navi very good.
The
like,
new
okay,
cap
we
skin
can
isn't in
dissipate if this team
the
fight's looking a
isn't
bit
in the
dicey,
tournament server.
and then as
Just
soon as we're ready to counterattack, everybody's in on the same page.
Yeah, like if you want to climb easily at the moment, the best thing that you can do is just run Rocket. Like, BRB is so broken. To put this fully into context, right? BRB can res anyone on the team outside of the Rocket himself. The cooldown is so low
Dang,
in
you're up early.
comparison
Good
to the
morning,
rest
good
of the
morning.
revive resources that we have in-game. 40 seconds, if broken, in comparison to Adam Self-Cocoon, which is
Sparker went
only
9 and
explicitly
7.
the Adam res, which
Vi
is
went 3 and
105
8.
seconds. And you can min-max, which Fate did not do. He only
Listen.
went down once that round. But if you were not aware of this,
Listen,
you can actually
VIRTUSPRO,
totally
if you need
reset
someone
the
to go
40-second
like double
cooldown
negative in your
with
tournament
a casualty
games,
on the Rocket.
just pick me up.
So for VP, it's like, okay, if you win the fight,
That's-
if you
come
get
on,
the pick
Fi,
up
you
on
gotta
Rocket,
lock in, bro.
BRB's instantly available
Terra-
for the next
Terra
one
went
again,
24 and
as opposed
0.
to having to wait the cooldown to cycle through
Yo, how you doing,
naturally.
Bottle?
So the only way that VIRTUSPRO can really try and dodge the uptime is by taking it away in the ban draft, which I
don't-
really hope to see,
I don't
because
know.
it felt
I
like
think-
VP
I
every
think a
time they
long
had an
time ago, I
opportunity
said
to do
Navi was gonna
something,
win the
they
LAN,
just lost someone early
I
and
really
weren't
want to
able
see
to
Navi
use the
against Team
ultimates
Liquid
that they'd
Citadel or
accrued
Navi against
in the fashion that
Swamp
they were
Gaming.
wanting to. Like, there was no full team fight. We got like one proper play-by-play fight on that second round
Please
of Super
replace
Soldier
Fi.
Factory,
Chat, Fi is
and then
not
it
a
was
bad
just
player,
VP
bro. He probably
losing
just had one
one or
bad
two
game.
players before each engagement.
Pros can have
But
bad
this
games too,
wasn't
chat.
an issue
Not
during
Jay3,
the group stage.
but,
This
like,
is something that I've
other
seen
people
a couple
can.
people point out. The fact that we have, of course, been seeing a little bit of Rocket show up and really starting to rise up, but in the group stage, Phoenix was being played a bit more often. But Ryan,
Yeah.
we're just not seeing Phoenix in the playoffs at all.
I mean, it's the
Ooh.
damage fall off. It's the addition of Cyclops. It seems that like Ruby Rage with your own like Yan amplifier is a good way to just instantly delete.
You
the Yan
lost to
amplifier
one
if you
healer
see
the
it.
other
For
day.
example,
Nope,
you're trying
I
to
don't
use the
remember that
Psylocke
fuzzy mouth.
or a
And if you
Daredevil
bring that
if
up
it's
again,
available to
Fuzzy,
try to
you're
chase down
banned.
where the Beerback is, or chase
Oh,
the Rocket
no.
because he's very hard to break through.
We don't
And
talk
yet
about that
again,
game.
We're going back to Central Park, which is where we
Yes, we
see a
are.
lot of exciting moments at the very least, but it's an undefeated map for Navi.
It's an
Well,
undefeated map for
actually-
Na'Vi, but it's where they've had a little bit of trauma in the past with Shikigami, and where they have had some troubles in their matches earlier. I'll hand it over to Moxie for her thought as we head
I don't
into
think
map number 2.
Sparker cares too much about rivals anymore.
It is a defeated
Plus,
map
Jerky's
for
a great
Navi
flex
because
DPS.
this was where we had
I
Navi versus
definitely
VP.
think they still care about
where
the
it
game
was,
chat. There's
"Mm,
no
you
way you're
liked
going to
it
say
from your
pro
line
players
too."
don't care about the game.
So I put my
Into
notes
full of
onto
holes.
What do you think they
Celestial
do? You think they show up
Host.
in
Side with
a
a C.
$200,000
it's
tournament,
got
play
convergence
Squirrel
and
Grow because they
combo
want to
maps
have
as well. Like, there's a
fun?
lot of easy ways to sort
No,
of
they're playing for money, chat.
muddle it up. But for the draft, not muddle this fast so far. Navi, you're going to be starting on this defense. VIRTUSPRO want to attack first. Yeah, we have seen some interesting moments on this map, to say the least.
Yeah, one team fight. That was all both teams required to be able to break the Penny Parker the last time. There it is. VIRTUSPRO say not again. Mirror Rocket ban. I mean, you can't address the Strange or the Penny within this ban draft, so it has to be the work that both of these teams have done outside of the draft to improve on being able to melt the cheese strategy. Because if not, Ryan, we're in for a very weird Central Park experience yet again.
Clubs is going to be banned out too, so it weakens the stocks of a
Damn,
Wolverine,
dude.
who is very good on
This is the
this
first
effect on this
time
map
I've
too,
ever
so we just
seen
know it's gonna be protected. I
VIRTUSPRO
would
like
imagine it has
not
to
be happy
mirrored,
or
which
smiling.
we sort of mentioned yesterday. VIRTUSPRO have actually been doing a good job of making sure that these drafts stay the same, but they're not. There is that difference of Cyclops available on one side, but Navi having the Daredevil on his defense to see exactly where this dive could potentially come from.
I mean, I just want to see, like, Navi on the defense first likely will go for the Penny Parker defense strategy because it was so effective.
Good morning, Jay3. Leaving this all while I
versus
sleep. Hey,
VIRTUSPRO.
good morning, my friend.
The last
Good morning,
time
good
that
morning.
these two teams matched up, and with that Daredevil ban as well, when Navi get the opportunity to attack, they'll have one-sided Daredevil, which means that VIRTUSPRO will have to field something like a Psylocke on the side of Sparker to be able to try and keep match of where exactly Fi can potentially pop
What type of
on
coffee do I
up.
get?
As
Something
it
with
looks like,
hazelnut.
no, Navi not going to be going for the cheese
Hazelnut
strategy
is
on the
the best thing
defense.
in the world.
Just running out on full flesh-blooded dive. Jerky on the Daredevil, trust
Hey, why
me,
the hell
and
is that a
Rajara on
command?
the Venom
Exclamation
and
mark
the
J.
Cap.
Jay is old, so he
And
needs to take
Terra
his
playing
afternoon
for
nap.
Poke on the Elsa, taking
been
advantage
streaming
of
for
the amount
40
of
fucking
attention that
hours.
VIRTUSPRO will have to turn onto the dive elements, which allows that Elsa free reign.
I was just thinking, I am going to get another like multi-pick Glortrox and knock VIRTUSPRO off of the map. It was on Museum of Contemplation last time, but there's always the chance here. VIRTUSPRO going for something very divey. I saw the blade hovered over from Sparker, and we did see a little bit from Swamp Gaming. Our only non-partner team to qualify for the
I
season
think for
finals so
I
far,
think for
so again,
VIRTUSPRO
congrats
to
to
do
them.
well, Fi
Lost
needs
the
to pop
whole of
off,
the team,
chat.
and the Torch is actually going to be out, which makes sense. He's expecting a
Penny.
Penny
Fi,
Parker.
Fi needs to be the
Yeah,
difference
if
maker
you
because yes,
roll out
last
with
game
the
he
torch,
did
you're
not.
expecting the Penny,
he did
you're
not
wanting
show
to
up.
be able to play above and break the nest. Now he's not seeing a Penny though, but Fi will stick with the pick, putting a lot of pressure up onto the high ground, but being forced out very early. Jerky gets the radar sense onto him, and Fi has the bright sense to remove himself before Navi can turn their attention and extinguish the torch.
Seeing if there's still a bit of a fight here. His Fate is the first to go down. He's not going to be too long out of the fight because he's able to just sort of sprint in. But trust me, trying to escape isn't going to find too much either. Might be looking to come back as the Doctor Strange, as already a third has been taken up at this rate. And players from Navi outside of Fate, who's going to be back into the engagement now, still in, able to fight. The pot might not even necessarily
this is a
have to
really
be
good
used
push
at this
from
rate because
VIRTUSPRO,
everybody's
though.
managed to walk straight back onto the objective. Ultimate's not quite being built up yet. Terra's not too far away from having that Apex Predator, and the portal has been used to try to sort of like intercept and get in behind where VIRTUSPRO are playing from. And they've had to respect this, actually. They've got a foot off of the objective, still hovering around it, of course, but not quite going in for the kill just yet.
Yeah, Portal totally split the line of sight from Judro and Saipe, so you had to pull your vanguards back in fear of Navi's team core just walking and taking them down very early. So
Good
a
hold
patient
so far,
approach
though.
as
Good
Judro's
hold
about
by
to build up
Navi.
the ult ahead of Fate, but falls to the dive from both Jerky and Rajaro, collapsing in on those squishies before VIRTUSPRO are able to fend them off. 2 ticks picked up for the side of VIRTUSPRO, still having both
smart.
strategist ults
Look
to
at
be able to
Rajaro.
commit to this
That's very
fight, as
smart,
well
chat.
as
He's
Rajaro
taking
just
he's
stands
taking
in
all that
fire
damage
on
so he can
purpose
feed his support
to be
ults.
able to let Fate
Really
stop
smart.
battering up the ult charge.
Oh, Royal Flush is going to be used on both sides, though, and Fi is instantly deleted from Fate from the sky. Clay Pigeon shooting continues as Terra's found that pick onto Sparker, and immediately this fight is over. Big dedication of an ultimate with the Royal Flush traded out the very least, but Navi win that fight dominantly.
Poor Saipei.
Yeah, they've got Dridor's ult. Potentially to go fast here, but late picks onto NAVI means that VIRTUSPRO will have to wait for that regroup, which allows Fate to be able to build up and have match. Freedom Charge available for both teams, but NAVI having Feast of the Abyss. The damage boost potential from Dridor's ult could be the difference maker here for VIRTUSPRO to be able to get over NAVI. If they force them off the point, they will get the tick.
Freedom Charge now for VIRTUSPRO is going to be the first way to initiate into
It's not me, chat. It's not me. Notice how the gameplay was fine, but the voice was choppy.
With these ultimates. Now it's let the devil out as the dive comes in. It's going to force Fate above Worlds on the other side. Vi going solo again.
No, not Saipei dying, but Fate also died. This is good. They're even.
Objective, whilst you see Finzi trying to pull the attention back onto the objective itself. Not seemingly mattering.
No, Sparker popped his ult and died.
Smushed underground, and that's going to be the change. Dancing Butterfly's gone. He's going over towards the Elsa himself.
Dude, VIRTUSPRO is not looking good right now, bro.
Sparker
Everyone's doing mistakes.
Loses the opportunity to get exit trades onto Navi's players, weaken up their numbers, and allow VIRTUSPRO with closer respawns to try and just mobilize for a fast push when you have that player advantage. Fi does have the torch ult ready to go, but you have to be so careful about how you use it, as Navi can just take him that very early off of pressure from Terra. It's just zoning at this point, trying to force Navi off of the high ground, but that damage has allowed Crooks to be able to build up the Gambit ult, and VP do not have match. They have to pull back. This is lost by territory. They don't lose anyone, and now you play for Saipei's ult to push you forward.
Nevix having tried to go for the touch, and now Terra has been able to take him out. There comes the ultimate on the other side from Saipei. Has to force bodies onto the objective, so overtime is at least going to be forced. And really at this point, Navi don't really have too much of a security to keep this one going, but they're losing out on the players. This point is eventually going to flip from VIRTUSPRO, and for the first time this stage between these two teams, Moxie, we're going past this first point of the map of Central Park. We're moving on as the payload starts to continue on towards Dracula's castle.
Yeah, but it got precariously close to being a full hold once more, as job done, first broken.
I am actually really surprised that Navi
that he'd moved
did
on
not
to
full hold
be
that
able
chat.
to keep that touch and overtime in play.
It's good for VIRTUSPRO, good for their mental,
trying to
but
push Navi all the way
crazy.
back, wanting to have their Vanguard to be a
Nick?
barricade of
How you doing up
intercepting
this early,
Jerky
Nick?
before he can get onto those squishies, but he's been able to find a way past. Nevix not in position in time to be able to peel the Daredevil and Venom off of Sparker, who had the ult, had the damage potential for VIRTUSPRO to win this fight.
Seems very frantic, even watching it from Nevix's perspective with the 4-second charge.
I can barely
He's
hear
trying to
Jay.
pull
Yes,
as many
chat.
plays out of
Emily
position,
is
but now
sleeping
they
still.
are
I do
almost
not
always
want
out
to
of position.
scream.
That's how they play. It's very akin
It's
to how
7
they want to
a.m.
go, and Dredra gets taken out. Just off the back of the Feast of the Abyss, the tendrils are going to find
that's
the
good shit,
elimination.
Nick. Good shit.
And
That's
Terra's
awesome.
trying to make sure that on the other side, you see the players going down as much as they possibly can.
Thank you,
Finzi is
Naze.
dropped just shy of having now Freedom Charge, and the scrappiness continues as VIRTUSPRO pretty much forced back into their own spawn.
Yeah, Navi just taking away all of the space that VIRTUSPRO have to work with. It's only really Nevix who
And
has
Lone
the
Runner
freedom
with the
to
massive
try
3
to
months.
get
Appreciate it, my friend.
into
How you
Navi's
doing?
back line. Disrupts, displace, spins it with the freedom charge, allows VIRTUSPRO sustainability to move forward. But level
I'm
1 Crook
going
can
to
take
say it,
all of
Sentinels
that
would
away,
beat up
enabling Navi with so
VIRTUSPRO.
much damage and speed to keep up the pressure onto VIRTUSPRO. Sparker trying to actually contest the aggression, using it to bait Navi forward into the Elsa ult, but it gets totally broken.
Take care, someone.
VIRTUSPRO
Have a great
instead
day.
have to rely on Dridor's heals from an ult that Jerky's been able to force.
This isn't like a negative indictment, I think, for how VIRTUSPRO are playing, but it does look very Doom match right now. Just everybody's focus is in different areas, trying to use the verticality. Nice mechanics at least being shown, but the chaos that Navi has managed to cause here feels a little bit like VIRTUSPRO's attention is split in various different directions.
These
so
watch
the
parties have
progression
been the
of this
highlight of
payload
my
hasn't
week.
really gone too far as 20 seconds
W.
comes in towards the end of the map.
They're a lot of fun. I love doing watch parties.
Ruby Rage is going to find a pick off the back of it, as Dredro actually is the one that gets the elimination onto level 1 Crook. So the fight is going to go deep and fast towards Navi's backline. They're dropping bit by bit, but because overtime is hitting Moxie, Navi...
Damn, dude, it looks like VIRTUSPRO. I want to do Pummel Night soon.
I mean,
we can, Nick. We can.
Saipei to burn the Gambit ult before Terra
VIRTUSPRO is
uses the
only
Apex
winning
Princess,
in
so
overtime,
no
dude.
easy access to Purify. Instead, you're relying on the more costly investment of the 2 card cost to be able to free VIRTUSPRO's players. Navi very much setting themselves up to win win
Sounds
this
good, sounds
next
good.
fight, VIRTUSPRO have to get something done before Navi are in position to go.
Wednesday's the preview stream, and Friday is the new season of Marvel, so we could probably do like Thursday or something.
Finds pick up to Dredro again, just off of the back of that Feast of the Abyss. He's been so good at it. The pull in, the charm onto Rajaro. He's got enough sustain to keep him going, but there it is. The Glortruck starts to carve through these ruins over in Central Park, and everybody from VIRTUSPRO sent scarpering. This payload isn't moving any further. Navi pretty much right in the center of this second part of the map.
Yeah, it's a full team effort to let Navi through that
Wait, can we see the
as
stats?
well. Like, Terra
Production?
knows he has a target
Production,
on his back.
show us the stats.
VIRTUSPRO, without that Gambit ult to counterplay the Apex Predator, they have to get the elimination on the Elsa. So it's Trust Me who detaches, wraps all the way around, puts the pressure onto VIRTUSPRO's backline, forces their attention to have to pivot to dealing with the Venom, which allows Terra to stealthily bypass all of the scouting and invest the Elsa ult on the objective in overtime, where VIRTUSPRO are forced to hold. If they're off of the objective for fear of the Elsa ult, OT round ends. If they're on the objective, despite the Elsa ult, they're eliminated by the
doing a
damage
lot
that
better.
Terra
See?
can do.
He only had a bad
Very
game
smart
last game,
play
chat.
from Navi.
At least he's
The
14 and
long
5.
con
At least he's
burning
positive
out
here.
So many ultimates from VIRTUSPRO
Terra
before
is
the OT
18 and 2 with
was
13
allowing them
final
to
hits.
make those plays when that next fight happened. But do we actually get to see VIRTUSPRO hold Navi?
Also, Finzy's doing really well too, 15 and 3. Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of there's no penny, and even if there was, Jerky taking a leaf out of VIRTUSPRO's but going for the
Terra's the
Todd.
best duelist in the world at
Thinking about it
IMO.
yesterday, you just cannot ban out this front line of Navi. Like they have
Terra
the
is
Deadpool
lucky
Vanguard,
that
they have the
I
Rogue, if
wasn't
that's left
playing in
available.
the
It just
tournament
seems
chat.
Undisputable that you cannot make that front line.
If I was playing for
certainly
VP
more
right
scary.
now, it would be we would already
Nevix
win.
Early scouting on the Angela. Navi, unlike VP, seeing no penny, but actually swapping Jerky onto the one-sided Daredevil that they were able to secure. So Nevix now going to have to mark out where exactly Jerky is. But if the Angela's looking at the Daredevil, he's not looking at the Venom. I'll tell you who is looking at Terra, though.
That's your best player.
Wins the 1v1, but
Jay3
this
would
is the
never do
danger
that.
from VP. They let Navi into the back line, and it's player traits.
See, Terra heard me say that J3 was the best, and that's what happened. He's shaking now, chat. Terra is shaking. He's sweating. You could literally see him sweating.
Defense where they're able to just throw people onto the objective one at a time. Not going to really feel the need to actually go for the portal place just yet. Might want to use it actually as this payload moves on to the next one. But they have bodies in play.
Oh,
it's
by the
just
way,
about sustaining this, trying to build up these
Scar
ultimates.
Latex?
And Navi,
Scar, is that how you say your name?
despite the
Scar
fact that they
Latex.
haven't quite
Appreciate
hit
the bands of
two-thirds on the point. Actually, like, we're going to
new
disengage
sub. Appreciate it.
completely.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, they picked up one tick, so VIRTUSPRO do have one extra if they feel particularly pressured by the dive to give up space, regroup, walk back in with a strategist alters. Level 1 Crook's actually fallen before
Good
Navi's
shit.
been able
Good
to
shit by
mobilize the
Fi and
dive into
Finzy.
position
Good
to pressure
shit.
Sparker. They will claim
pick.
the Elsa, but that will be all. I say that, Fi suddenly caught playing on Navi's side of the
Navi
map.
could go in pretty
greeting,
quick. They're
trying
down
to catch
two.
a
They're down
disengaging
2
Navi's team
DPS.
and punished for it.
Jerky actually tried to put some pressure on the objective, but he gets taken out the latest out of those little skirmishes. Which means that Navi, it's such a long run back for VIRTUSPRO that Navi, okay, we lose a player, we're going to get there a lot faster than you might, but now, because Jerky went down in that place, feels a little bit more even, as half of the time has already been given up as Navi trying to make this attack work.
Nevix finding Trust Me, sparing the Venom out of position before he can commit the dive spacing. The Jerky or Rajara to follow up with. Spark is taken down though. Poke from Terra, finished up by Jerky.
Jerky killed
This
someone and then
time,
fell off
Navi
the
go
map.
For the
What?
backline hit. Oh,
You guys
Jerky's
saw
off
that?
the map again. That's
Jerky is off the
Too
map
often for
again.
my liking, but the fight is going to come in from VIRTUSPRO. They've lost enough players as the Royal Flush is going to come through from Saipe, but very little else. Finzy's very close to having a freedom charge, which might be enough to try to out-sustain this fight a little bit longer, as VIRTUSPRO is so close to some other strategists.
Oh my god, what an ult. What
The
a
Apex Predators
ult.
from Terra just bounces people off of the world. The foundations of this first point of Central Park are shaking under Terra, and now the Devil is very much let out in the middle of Manhattan. Just a little bit more west, I suppose, of Hell's Kitchen, but he isn't going to matter too much. Seems that Navi tried to put the pressure in to turn this point
Damn,
over,
look at that.
but because of the fight
Geography
going this way
W.
for VP, well, they went in for the strange portal. Fi's already gone down, and that is Navi taking the point and having 3.5 to complete the map.
You did at least force Fate to burn Fate of both worlds. So Sparker with Dance of the Butterflies has pick potential. Rajal will have to be playing closer to his team to provide
That's
that
not
extra
GG's, bro.
sustainability.
That was a really good hold.
But Finzi going down late in that fight's really problematic for VIRTUSPRO because you're relying on stall potential from one of your vanguards to buy as many fights as you possibly can. Just take
Especially
time off of Navi's bank, and yet now it falls to Nevix, but you can see just how vulnerable that Angela can be when all of the pressure turns Nevix's way. Navi have so much damage off of Terra.
Freedom Charge and Feast of Abyss used together to actually try to make this fight in the tower a little bit more scary, but it seems that like Navi are just actually kind of pushing this all the way back. In fact, both strategists sent all the way to spawn and then eliminated just outside the doors. This looks a mess from VIRTUSPRO. This does not look good at all.
Yep, no heals. Dridro, Saipe totally bullied out of that fight, and that was last fight. Except now, Nevix just able to eke out a touch. Finzi throwing himself in, Saipe with the Gambit ult, but there is nothing to enable until Sparker joins the fray. And Terra has that Apex Predator, plays outside of the reach of the Psylocke ult. Sparker's bought his team
Damn,
though.
it's not
Precious
GG's
stability,
yet.
and it forced the Terra to clutch.
Ooh, no, the Glow Truck's just missing a little bit nearsighted, doesn't quite see exactly. He's got the blinders on.
Why
so
would
doesn't
you
see the
ult
characters
that? You're
of
by
VIRTUSPRO
yourself.
On either side of them. Might have been a little bit of an overforce.
That was a hero play, chat. He tried to be a hero and it ended up being zero. Damn,
It's still
bro.
2 minutes.
Wow, when's the last time we saw Namor being picked as a duelist? You can see how much pressure Navi's dive is putting VIRTUSPRO through, but they'll be pressured even
Is
more
Fi
so
doing
with
a J3
unmatched
cosplay?
Gambit ult. Their checkpoint's so close, they cannot
Wait,
abandon
they
it!
don't touch the put.
And no one touches. Not like this.
Oh dear, VIRTUSPRO. So Navi at least making sure that that negative run that they were on over on this map sort of comes to a bit of an end. Navi looking very much the stronger side of VIRTUSPRO's win streak over on Central Park, cut to 6-1 instead of 6-0.
We will have to see if VP can continue in this series or Navi will be able to complete the full 3-0 sweep. We'll be back with match point after this break.
Chat, I feel scared for VIRTUSPRO, bro. VIRTUSPRO doesn't look like that top team that they once looked like. VIRTUSPRO is if VIRTUSPRO get 3 zeros, I thought this game was going to be one of the best games we've seen. Damn, bro. Yeah, C9 was named after an Overwatch team, chat. I mean, Cloud9 plays in a lot of different games, but C9 is from Overwatch. Yeah, I think the best games would be the lower one, because like it's do or die. If you lose, you're out. So they're playing for their lives. You were hyping it all day yesterday? Hell yeah, bro. And I think Team Liquid Citadel against Swamp Gaming is going to be another really good game. Wait, since you're giving us an ASMR stream now, can you give us a feet cam now? What? I will be loud again when Emily's awake, chat. Right now, I am not going to be loud. I think Museum of Contemplation is a popular map because a lot of teams like to go there and practice on it. So that they're, even if they're going to lose, they're going to go to the map they practice the most on. Would you yell for 50 gifted? Would I want to die for 50 gifted? No. Not at all. Why do you guys want me to die? VIRTUSPRO won LAN because Fi was the best DD player at the time. He was the difference maker. Oh yeah, I do. VIRTUSPRO did win the LAN event, but this is a little different now because NAVI didn't have Terra. Terra was still on 100 Thieves. I think Terra going to NAVI is huge. And Team Liquid Citadel was EU? True. True. Navi did not win last year, chat. Navi won in China for the mid-season playoffs, which is this is after these playoffs is going to be the mid-season, but they did not win. They did not win grand finals. Grand finals is like the last tournament, and that was VIRTUSPRO. Nice, nice, nice. What? Chat, why do you guys type these messages and then hit send? Why do you keep your toes dipped in peanut butter for the whole stream? What? I'd forgot the name, chat. Which barbecue did you get your dad for his birthday? It's called egg or something. Green eggs and ham, or green egg. Did you see what happened first point on our attack? Jerky, you're in the middle of a game, bro. Focus up. Also, Jerky, can you do me a favor for one series? Can you stay on the map? Wait. Did you see what happened on our first point, our attack? The map pulled me down. What do you mean the map pulled you down? Do you know the timestamp? We could go look at it. First point. Did you see what happened on our first point, our attack? First point attack. Okay, we could go look at that after this game. First point attack Jerky. I'm gonna make a note of that. This Jerky thinks this game is so easy against VIRTUSPRO. He is opening up Twitch chats and fucking talking in Twitch chats.
Another solid performance from NAVI as they are finally able to once again shake off that little bit of a curse that they've had with some more tougher maps when it comes to their Central Park endeavors. But in this case, it's yet another win.
Yeah, keep it up, keep it up.
Belt. VIRTUSPRO unable to stay on that point.
If VIRTUSPRO loses this game, what happens? If VIRTUSPRO loses, they go to the lower bracket.
Grand finals for EMEA. VIRTUSPRO are one loss away from being sent down to that lower bracket, where we'll be fighting out their opponents.
If you guys want to see the bracket, type
today.
exclamation mark
Ryan,
MRI.
VIRTUSPRO, they're starting to show a couple struggles here. What can they do to change their fortunes?
Ooh, it's tricky. Like, they have to go to a convoy map now, which means that, like, you're going to one of the
if you think
like,
you are in ELO hell,
available to them, right? Like, it's
broker,
pretty much
put it
undefeated
in
on all of the maps of the
Discord.
museum, which they lost to Fire Strays.
Yo, what's up, Lucky
going through
Zeal?
the red team
Why are you
to try to
guys
work out
all
which one it was.
I'm
which was a
up
bit of a
because I'm
blip,
doing a watch
honestly.
party.
It seemed like since
But
then
why
they
are you
managed to
guys
work it
up?
out. Terra has been one of the most standout players on globally,
We
I
have
think,
work.
with his
You have
introduction
work on
to
a
this NAVI
Saturday?
roster. We started talking about it in the break of just the fact that he's on boot camp, he's not playing on ping, where he was
That's
able to do a
tough.
lot of like crazy work, as we saw in like preseason, for example. it really makes me terrified of what these guys can do on land, because Terra's got a good amount of experience from playing in like the grand finals and stuff for 100 Thieves. So he is slotting well into this team, and it's only looking good for Navi.
Only 47% accuracy though. Moxie, can we officially
Finzi played really well. He went 22-5 with 10 finals.
To emphasize on what Ryan said, Moxie, Terra's just insane right now.
Yeah, I mean, everyone from Navi, like we were talking about this during the break, their main weakness was just infighting. I think like the introduction of a coach for this team has done absolute wonders, because you still have like that player-led coaching from Trust Me inside your actual matches to be able to make like the macro decision calls of, okay, we'll lose this fight, we'll have the discipline to lose the fight, but we'll force so many ultimates from VP that when OT starts, they don't have any resources to brute force bully us. Like there's an opportunity when Navi are trying to push through second, VIRTUSPRO have Dance of the Butterflies, they're able to force Fate to use Fate of Both Worlds for Navi to retain hold of that point. There's an opportunity there for Sparker to get the ult through. What do Navi do? Instead of having Rajaro play more passive, play safer alongside his backline to use Freedom Charge to absorb the damage from Dance of the Butterflies, they get aggressive. They send Trust Me and Rajaro to totally zone out both Tridro and Saipe, which denied all of the resources from the rest of VP's team. They had the full trust 4 players would be enough if Sparker did get to use the ultimate to stack in and survive it, and if you got the pick off onto the Psylocke before Sparker could use the ultimate, you just win the fight and guarantee take it to a one-fight situation that you can brute force
VP
with all
is
of that time
like
available.
my rank
The
up
Gambit
games.
ult, which sent VIRTUSPRO into an absolute panic to the point that they all stepped off of the point, despite having the Luna ult up to be able to stand up to it. Like, that's the thing against Na'Vi. It's not just the skill that they have, it's not just how well they can play the heroes, it's the discipline that they have in game, which is truly terrifying. They can put aside ego, they can put aside looking for like your KDA and prioritize taking fights that sets them up for the win.
And speaking of setting up for the win, this could be it. If Na'Vi take this, they move on to the grand finals. It's VIRTUSPRO's last chance, and, well, Ryan brought it up. Na'Vi have a very, very small selection of maps that they have lost on full stop this year, and one of them is Museum of Contemplation. Will this be a history-making endeavor for VIRTUSPRO? I leave you with Ryan Central and Got Moxie to find out.
Again, to sort of emphasize this, for Navi across Ignite so far this year, they are 8 wins, 1 losses. VIRTUSPRO, they are
Chat,
1
tomorrow
win,
we
4
start at
losses.
11 a.m.
One of them did not look good yesterday as well,
Yes.
versus Heretics. Like, Museum of Contemplation from VP, not a good performance at all.
Yeah, and it sort of seemed
We
that they
get
went
to
in with the
sleep
idea
in,
of like,
bro.
okay, yeah, Penny on defense, we could break that with the torch. And Navi like, we literally heard you say that.
Oh, there's
so
Jerky.
We're
Look,
just not gonna
Jerky,
play with
bro.
Penny. We're just going to waste some of your time. And like you mentioned, we saw even Jerky use it on the other side, going for it on the attack, and then, oh, there's no Penny. I'm immediately going to switch. Can't say the same for Fi, who stayed on it for a good amount of time. Not to say that it's bad, it just feels a little bit like that sort of moment in time sort of passed them by. Rogue is going to be banned out a little bit later, so Rocket is actually banned out earlier in the draft to make sure that a statement is made for VP.
Daredevil available for both teams. At this point, VP do get the opportunity of banning it since Na'Vi prioritize saving the
He looked like he was
Lunar
smiling, though, even
Snow.
though they were
And
losing.
yeah, VP will jump on that opportunity of trying to deplete some of Jerky's hero pool, potentially forcing Na'Vi into running the triple strategist. The last time these two teams matched up, VP did take Na'Vi to Museum of Contemplation. That was when they were able to play with the Mantis Loki team up, however, so the meta has since moved on as both teams actually full access to everything that the other has. It will just be about adapting to each specific fight.
Aren't you tired?
And setting up
but it's
for
fine.
the wins. Like, can VP push
MRI
Na'Vi? Because
only
at this
lasts
point,
4 days,
we're yet to
chat.
really
I don't
see a
mind
team
waking up
do that.
early for
I think
4
the
days.
closest was Rad on Central Park, but that was off of some absolute heroics from Crazy Kitty on the Wolverine into the Star-Lord, which Na'Vi have not been playing. Like, that's something else to talk about, right? Terra's been playing the Elsa as opposed to the Star-Lord, despite the fact that one, Na'Vi for first map were able to secure the rocket with the Gambit, and two, they've always had Gambit open as well.
No, there's nothing next weekend,
A
chat.
streak's going to be broken here.
This
Either
tournament
the
is
5
only
wins
for this
in a row
weekend.
That Navi have managed to get on Museum of Contemplation, only losing against Fire Strays in the preseason playoffs very early on, or it's going to be VP losing a mirrored matchup for the first time in
I think
Ignite
Baby
history.
Couch, I think I definitely
as far
am
as I
gonna
can
do that.
tell, because you don't tend to have found these situations very often in the past. It's only now that the read seems to be a lot more. Let's make sure
Plan
that
is
the characters are even on the same side. Like
it's planned for August, chat. If you click exclamation mark MRI and go to the mid-season land, you get it gives you all the information
will
there.
be rolling out on the Star-Lord that we talked about
right
since Saipe is playing the Gambit. So you do have that combo to find eliminations, a surefire win strategy for VIRTUSPRO to be able to build towards this. Na'Vi denied Jerky's Wolverine, put him, or rather denied the Daredevil, put him onto the Wolverine to pair alongside Terra on that Cyclops. Plenty of poke potential up for Na'Vi and good counter grab as well. You can see how passive Jerky is being, trying to read out where exactly Nevix and Finzi will try to hit the back line so that he can just push the Vanguards away from his strategists, and he's found Finzi, and so the chase begins.
It just means that this like coordinated dive that VP want to put together is going to be delayed because they're one player down and they already feel a little bit brittle as it is. One player's already gone down, being Saipe, but because the attack has barely started, it's only just going to buy 20-30 seconds worth of time, which is going to certainly count up when you start off with 4 minutes at this point. So
I think VIRTUSPRO, you guys are talking about the age. I think VIRTUSPRO overall is a lot older than NAVI. VIRTUSPRO, if you guys remember watching Overwatch and Overwatch League, there are a lot of ex-Overwatch League players.
Started for VIRTUSPRO.
I mean, also the fact that, like, look at the ult charge reflected from Saipe in comparison to Crook. Crook is getting to play with both of his Vanguards in line of sight and absorbing all of the poke damage from Sparker now on that Cyclops, as opposed to Saipe, who's been denied line of sight on both Finzi and Nevix for a lot of these engagements. So only now has been able to catch up
VP
once
was an
Finzi
old
plays more
Counter-Strike
from
2.
main.
I'm not talking about the org, though. I'm talking about the
Getting ready
players.
for that Ruby Rage to connect onto Saipe in the back line, and the Gambit folds.
He was just on an island, it felt like, just surrounded by Na'Vi players. Saipe off the back of Royal Flush just immediately just cannibalized by everybody in and around him.
Ooh,
so
Terra did not want Fi to live.
Looking incredibly scattered at this point. Having ultimates, but seemingly how it's all going to come together, hard to know.
I mean, VP also invested Raging Royal Flush, so you're now split from Fi's Galactic Legend. Shields have already been forced from Nevix off of the poke from Terra when he's on that wall. So VIRTUSPRO denied a lot of that engagement opportunity. Finzi actually even swapping off of the Captain America,
I don't
which
think
has
they
been
can
an
FF
anchor
these games,
for
chat.
this team. Moving on to the
You're
Emma,
in the
so
middle
that you
of
have
a tournament,
more
bro. You
potential
cannot.
and
That's like.
to be able to block
That's like
the
just
damage
imagine.
that Terra's been
I
able
don't
to
know.
output.
Let's just say imagine the Heat are the best NBA team in the world right now, and then you go play at Miami at the Heat Stadium. You can't just not play, chat. You can't do that.
Manages to get behind cover very quickly. Just me trying to do his best Finzi impression over on the Venom to try to stall out the time, and it's going to stall out even longer as the fight back has come in off of the Fate of Both Worlds from NAVI this time. Sending VP, they're getting spawn camped. The grand finalist world champions, Moxie, are getting spawn camped right now.
Fi's holding Galactic
world
Legend
champions
too,
are
waiting
getting
for
spawn
Saipe's
camped right
ult to
now.
build alongside it, but Rajara with Sonic Seduction can shut that down totally. Plus, Jerky has the last stand, and I know it sounds strange, but we've seen so many wall vaults find the connection onto Star-Lord through that Galactic Legend. This is not a full fight win, as Jerky gets the pin onto 2. VIRTUSPRO still make a play, the Gambit ult's invested, but a huge freeze from Fate totally freezes Fi out from the fight.
He's not going to be available. He gets eliminated. So that combination, another Royal Flush, really landing in a kickoff of the poker table, frankly, and a
I agree. I thought this was going to be a very close series, chat. This is very.
But stunned out again.
I do feel bad. I feel bad for VIRTUSPRO, but this is pretty depressing.
To just sort of hold on to it and build it up as they can get it. But now finally, Fi has to do something for VIRTUSPRO. You need to poke the bear.
Oh
and the bear
my
needs
gosh,
to show that
Jerky.
they're awake,
Oh
but
my.
nothing's happening. Absolutely put under as NAVI, as VIRTUSPRO on this map, Choice of Museum, contemplated why they even chose it, because they've barely left the spawn doors. Overtime, at least moving on, but it just seems to be a bit more of a fracas. Streeter at least finds this pick, and it must be like a selection, maybe single digits against NAVI, and that's enough for them to actually give this up.
Yeah, they're running away with elimination, so NAVI will literally run away from the fight before VIRTUSPRO take chunks out of more players. Jerky spinning into position, gets held by Finzi with that Carbon Crush, but survives. Sonic Seduction invested at the same time as Feast of the Abyss. No eliminations, and Fate getting dangerously close to the Luna ult, which will allow them to stall for Crook's ult to build alongside it.
Yeah, Fate Buffalo's is going to be available on the other side. Is Drew got to feel the need to use it? I mean, you might as well. You don't want to get sort of held here. Ruby Rage is also available for Sparker Seed if you can quite get the lineup on these characters. Just more keeping his distance, so disengaging completely. But that means that the wick is burning. People need to sort of keep an eye on it. But yeah, they have to try to hold on as much as possible. Level 1 Crook is going to come in with the Royal Flush. Saipe very close to building it up. Ruby Rage got to be used, but it doesn't quite get the pick as Saipe is the one to first go down. And this VIRTUSPRO team is completely split off of the objective. Navi hold it just before first, and VIRTUSPRO showing some fight towards the end, but too much of that attacking side was nothingness.
Yeah, not impossible, but a tough task ahead of VIRTUSPRO. Like, that has to be so frustrating. Fi having to hold Galactic Legend for one whole
Jay, what do you think about this match?
A new Raging Roll Flush, and then Fate stops him in his tracks. Ice in his veins, catching the freeze to split the combo, which would have allowed
this match reminds me of like
really crucial ultimates to have.
Let's just say you're very hungry, chat. It's your birthday. You're driving to your favorite birthday place to eat dinner. You know, it takes you an hour to drive there, so you're hungry, you're excited, you didn't eat all day, you're like you just can't wait for you to eat that favorite meal. And then once you get to the restaurant's closed. And you didn't check it beforehand. And now you just wasted all that time. You just wasted an hour driving for nothing. That's what it feels like. I was very excited for these games because obviously with a tournament, the better games and the better teams are going to be last. Obviously in a tournament, right? And you think the games are going to be a little closer in skill, but this is pretty bad.
Gotta say as well, like the Emma combining with the Lunar Snow, the team up is nice, but just the Emma on this part of the map is so good. Finzi looking a lot stronger when he switched over to it. Going to be starting on it first on his defense.
Awoken Ghost with the massive 41 months, my friend. Appreciate it. How you doing?
Coordinated from Navi as it already did against VIRTUSPRO. Naturally, because it was Jerky just being the ward, scaring people away, a security guard for the back line. And
VIRTUSPRO is running 3 tanks, 3 supports.
Not only the Emma is full on charge, but also the Wolverine too. Fi goes down first on this Magneto. It might be go time if the trade didn't come in already onto Fate.
Oh, the grab as well onto Nevix. It's like you might have a triple strategist, but there's no Vanguards to battery the ultimates. There was no way for VIRTUSPRO to be able to hold Navi off from flanking, catching them behind, and already we're having to see Fi panic swapping onto Strange because this is last fight territory. Nevix on the thing trying to stand up to that Wolverine, but you are just a pincushion once Jerky is able to close that distance. As VIRTUSPRO desperately trying to make a play, but level 1 Crook's already got the ultimate, and this should just be Navi closing out.
It should be. You've got one of the Vanguards being taken out, at least nobody's quite near the ultimates, dropping like flies. VIRTUSPRO, world champions from the grand finals, losing out against the mid-season finals champions of last year. Navi just making it look so easy. They're going to be in the grand finals tomorrow to decide who's going to be the top seed and taking a big chunk of that $200,000 USD prize pool. But I don't think Navi's going to care about that. They are absolutely rinsing through the world champions.
Yeah.